Me too. Just in anticipation of an after one day.
We just put up this little trim up here today. Very cute. Goes purple, blue, purple with a nice little scalloped edge. Did it myself, no big deal. The scalloped edge. Obviously Mom helped with putting it up. I don't have enough hands for that. I was not planning on filming today, hence the appearance. However, we are out here doing some work and it's not very pretty out here, but this is a very important time here at tamTERRA. Mostly because the ground is still workable and the forest hasn't taken over yet. So we are doing a lot of bushwhacking today. There's going to be some big ground shift movement happening when our friend Danny comes. Danny's bringing in an excavator. He did all of the work for us last summer and created a lot of campsites here. So much work gets done when you are smart about hiring out the proper machines with the right time and a good plan. So we're doing that again this year. That's why we're getting these trees trimmed up, and we have to open this whole area up so that he can bring in the excavator and make us a little bit of a road. I can already see you way more.
Hi. Yeah, I know it. It's amazing. We just got to pull this out and burn it.
Yes.
I'm starting to cut open underneath the cedar trees to clear the way for the composting area.
Woo, composting bays. Ripley, what are you doing? Want to catch this treat? Nope, we are not a catcher. So this composting area is going in right next to our potato patch, like I talked to you guys earlier about in previous vlogs. So the intention is to clear under most of these cedar trees. We are still keeping the trees. We're just lifting up this kind of bush line so that we can get in there. There's a lot of brush, and it's a perfect time of year to do this because nothing's growing yet, so we can still get in here. This is a lot harder when it's full on green.
You'll see the bottom. It's frozen, it's gnarly. But that's why I start from the trunks on out, just to create a safe space to work from. And then from there I'll get a better vantage point as to how much gets to leave.
And this is probably good for the cedar trees in the long run, hey?
It's not harming them at all.
It just picks up that bottom line.
Yeah, it just gives them a nice underbrush pruning, which will, yeah, it's just like a good hair trim.
And it takes all these smaller, what are these little guys?
They're called saplings.
Yeah, but of what?
System of the cedar.
It's a cedar sapling? Oh yeah, it is. I didn't see the top.
Yeah, this.
No, it's not.
That one. These ones are.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about this kind of guy. Like,
oh, that's like a poplar or an aspen, or
it's just kind of in the way.
it's one of those first growth that comes in after logging. It's probably not even supposed to be here. It's
yeah, it looks
surviving because of the road and the light it gets from it.
Yeah, you see all these baby little cedars that come off the mama.
Yeah, those are saplings coming up from the root system. They'll have to go as well, but that just allows all that extra energy to go up to the mother tree.
Mm-hmm.
Which is great.
And there's about 4 big cedar trees in there, yeah?
We'll cluster these all together. They're not going anywhere. They'll just create nice pathways through here and more room for vegetables.
Oh yeah, and then like 3 more down there a little further.
They grow, what do you call them?
Containers.
Potatoes, all the way through here even.
Maybe, it's pretty acidic.
But on top of the cardboard like you did there.
Yeah. I'll show you footage from the other side, but there is a composting bay here that we're going to be moving to the side over here. And there's going to be a drive-through kind of composting lane. That's where we're clearing up the cedars. Mama's in there. We do still have a lot of snow on the ground, as you see. Look at all that spring runoff. We got quite the creek forming on the side of the road here. Our main road access here is gravel still, so it gets pretty mucky this time of year. All right, this is where we're going to chop out a bit of a hole in this fence so that we can drive through the composting lane. And this is that structure I was talking about. You can see it better from this side because there's less snow over here. Come on, Rip, this way. Oh, there she is again. This is the composting bin that we're going to be sliding either to the left or the right, and this is where we're going to get our family friend Dan to come in with the excavator and make us a little bit of a drive-through lane here for the composting bay. These are the cedar trees we're working on picking up. There's some pine on this side, which is nice. But yeah, this is the before tour. This is what I talk about when I mention bushwhacking as part of our gardening process. Most people, their spring prep involves clearing out some weeds on raised garden beds. Our spring prep involves literal bushwhacking so that we can potentially build a road. So it's a little bit more involved when you live in the forest than when you live on a nice manicured acreage, but I don't think we would have it any other way. There was a change of plans. We talked last year about these bottom few in-ground garden beds and wanting to build rock walls. We decided that if there ever was a space for a high tunnel on the property, this would be it. So we're going to get Danny to actually flatten this out and dig us a hole, essentially, a few feet in the ground where we're going to put our high tunnel. Big dreams, big plans. We're going to try and get projects done around the high tunnel, like this hole dug and some posts in this spring. I highly doubt that we'll get it finished, but we want to start laying the groundwork. Sneak peek at things coming. Wasn't going to be filming today, like I said, but we are out here doing a lot of dirt work. Just moving some earth, cutting some trees, the usual forest bushwoman stuff. He'll be flattening out this area, and the road will kind of go right through the high tunnel here so that we can bring through compost and pull out bush as needed and out that way by our other shed. These are our raspberries that we need to trim up a little bit this season, but yes, this is hopefully all going to look different in a few months here, so I wanted to give you a bit of a before. This fence line here we will be taking out, not all of it, but a good chunk so we can drive the quad and trucks through. All right, Mom's hauling all the bush without me. I gotta go help her. It's not fair at all, is it? No, the Canada jay in the tree.
I see. A rare species here in BC now, they say. I always thought they were like a dove. You hear that trill?
Mm-hmm.
I like those ones.
It looks so good.
It does.
It went very fast. That was like an hour.
No.
Not even, yeah.
No, it's gotta be more than an hour.
No, it's only 2 now.
I just got 2 batteries. Look at all.
Man, this makes our potato patch look so small.
It is.
Doesn't it?
That's why I said you could probably double it and put more up here.
Well, if we did this side, it would be literally triple.
No, I think if you stand back there, you might see how a nice road right through here is really going to take out a big hard right or hard left there.
Yeah, I'm down for a road through there, just...
But that allows you to think about triangulating this or even all that with potatoes. Or something, whatever.
Yeah, but that's steep.
But even here then, right? Fill it in. Just on a triangle.
Mm-hmm.
You can do whatever you want. Fill it, yeah.
All right, we are switching gears in the afternoon because the clouds rolled in and the forecast is calling for some rain. We just got back out here after having a little bit of a snack, and now we're going to hopefully finish drywalling the inside of the cottage. This is the first time, I believe, on the channel you are seeing the cottage. I have decided, with the vast amount of projects that we have going on here at the property, to show you bits and pieces of what we're doing in a day. Like today, we were working on the greenhouse, working on the composting bay area. Now we're here in my cottage. We're all over the place, especially depending on the early springtime weather changes. That really dictates our daytime. So I'm going to be taking you with me in a daily vlog style, except it won't be daily because I've got too much stuff to do to commit to that. Do not worry, I have a lot of footage of us getting the cottage up to this point. Later on, I'll show you the whole project progress video, start to finish, all that jazz. But for now, we're gonna drywall. I'm not ready for that. Alright.
What's up with your corner?
The paper seems to have ripped.
Just lay it flat there and then mud over it.
Ran alongside that bank like he was in the Matrix.
I got nothing to push against. Down lower, sorry. No, up higher, right on my butt cheek, sorry. Yeah! Oh, it's in! It worked! Just a second. Okay, again. 3, 2, 1. Ugh. Just
Did it work?
Oh yeah, enough because it's gonna come down the, the drywall shit. Well, maybe this one's some. I heard it creak.
Right? I think it's the boards.
It is. It's so dry and old. Once more.
Kind of like you.
Fuck off. Okay, it's in now, I guess. Whoa! See how agile I am?
I was gonna catch you.
You were going to catch me, were you?
Was I not? I was right there.
You did deflect me well. Oops. That sounds like me. That's how I feel. Oh, some mornings. Okay, weirdo. Okay, so all the other ones. Here, I'll pick it up. Oops. I'm in. You good still?
I need you to go up at the same time as me. Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good. I'm too long though.
So you're not good?
Right here.
Oh.
Here to cut off some down.
What? What do you want?
I don't get no more.
It's all my fault somehow, isn't it?
Ouch. Ooh, ah.
What?
I can't stretch. My hips are sore. All the way up. In the corner. There you go.
You like my concern? What?
No fucking what? Okay, push it up and in over my way if you can.
1 second.
How's that? Great.
Good. Damn it, Mom.
What? It's not in the corner. No. Get it? I'm coming around.
you a treat.
Come on, puppy. I'll get you a treat. Come on. Wait. Yes. Good boy. Okay, so now we just have to cut off that one piece. Can you take off the screw? Just the one on the side.
You sure?
100%.
Look at that one. It's just a screw, buddy. I'm wondering what that squeaky noise is. Oh, you're so wet and dirty, puppy. Yeah, you are. You smell like wet dog. We might have to wash you or something.
Give him a bath.
Let's go to the shed, buddy. So, it is the next day. My camera ended up dying yesterday, but it was such a productive day. We got a lot of bush cleared out in our soon-to-be compost area. We started with, what did we even start with? Man, this time of year it all starts to blur together. We started with the greenhouse, and then we moved to clearing some brush, and we actually finished the last wall of drywall last night in my cottage. So all the drywall is up. We still have to do all the taping and the mudding, but it is in there. It's on the walls. Today we are heading out into our old goat pen to assess and refurbish it into the Rabbitry. I know I mentioned it in my previous video, the Chit Chat and Chai, where I talked about some of our springtime plans, but we are officially getting started on the Rabbitry. We're going to be converting an old goat house into the actual structure in the roof to house our breeder rabbits. How do you feel about all of the work we got done yesterday, Mom?
Achieved. Accomplished. Yes, you know.
The huge. And what are we doing today?
We're modifying. We're going to go look at the goat pen. We're going to convert it into a rabbit place, a rabbit hatchery.
I believe the term is rabbitry.
A rabbit tree. Not a tree, but like.
Look at our bush clearing.
Oh wow! Check it out. tamTERRA grows inch by inch. We meet when that next row is all gone.
Those are some pretty big piles for 2 hours of bush clearing.
Yes. You make it's gonna be a beautiful bonfire.
Yes. So today we are in the old goat pen, which in relation to the work that we did yesterday, is just across the street. The road. Street? Road. This is where we had my pet goats that I got for my 16th birthday, way back in the day. We are going to be modifying it for kind of like the hub of our animal husbandry
Sanctuary.
nexus.
We need to make a sanctuary against the outdoor predators and aerial predators, and
Which works well, because if you look up,
there's not a lot of overhead space for raptors to get in fast. Especially they're not going to free range in here yet, but...
well, not the rabbits, potentially the chickens. We won't be free ranging the rabbits.
No.
But yes, so this is the structure that we're going to do some measurements and start some deconstruction and repurpose it, make sure it's secure, and take the measurements so we can head into town and get the supplies we need in order to build the rabbit cages themselves. We will be taking on that endeavor from scratch and by hand. So if you guys have any tips on how to build rabbit cages with minimal injury, leave them in the comments below.
Okay, hold on that. You work on inches. Kind of like from post to post. So that's cool. Oh, well, don't need to take it apart. I'll just open it up. The only part that needs to come apart now is, well, the roof. When we get a new roof coming in, we got the measurements, we got the general design. How high up off the ground are we looking?
So that we are comfortable going in and out more than anything. It's not, they don't have a requirement. It's, but if we do,
Oh, shit.
if we do have, it didn't actually hurt.
It moved.
If we do have meat chickens in here, though, we want them to be able to go underneath, and it just makes sense to have the things, the cages, human height. Well, that was short and sweet progress on the rabbitry outside today. We essentially just had to come out here and measure everything, get a lay of the land, figure out what we need to do to the existing structure to make it suitable for rabbits. We are needing to go and get some material from town. We're going to have to put a roof on and essentially just build a tabletop to put the rabbit cages on. Now that we have all of this measured, we can get all of our equipment to actually build out the rabbit cages. I need to do some research on specifications that rabbits need in order to live a healthy, happy life. After that, I think we would be at the phase where we get to finally start building out our rabbit cages. I am in the process of emailing with a few fairly local breeders for New Zealand in particular, but there are a few other breeds that I'm willing to look at incorporating into my rabbitry. So a little bit of a disclaimer, as always, I am not a pro, so watching my drywall progress, watching us build this bad boy, even rabbitry setup, I'm going to quote Reverend Brianna Lynn and say, these are notes from a student in the field. This is not a teacher teaching. I am learning as I go with the wonderful assistance of my mother, who is more experienced than I, but also not a professional builder or drywaller. We're just doing our best. It's all DIY out here. Like I mentioned earlier, this used to be our goat pen, and the goats that we had were Arthur and Goliath. I got them for my 16th birthday. It's cool to be back in the space and planning and intending to use it. We're going to reinforce the fence with some more chicken wire and potentially start our meat chickens out in this area underneath our rabbit center here. They can pick away at all of the rabbit poo and forage and scratch away at the earth as much as they would like until we put them out into the chicken tractor and graze them on the grass around this 2-acre area around our home. Those are the goals, those are the plans. In the last 2 days we've made a lot of progress on random projects all over the place. Feels nice to get our teeth into some actual progress out on the land. Like I said earlier, all of my videos are going to be projects from all over the property in all different phases of completion because that is the nature of springtime here on the homestead. I'm going to sign off for now. It is starting to rain. I need to get inside. We have seeds that we're starting tomorrow, so lots to do. I'll see you all back here very shortly with another video. Say bye. Bye-bye.